What is up, my people? It's your single player hero here with something different. Just wanted to put together a bit of a informal opinion kind of / review video for the latest update for Red Dead Redemption 2. Seeing as it's a week old now, and I've been spending a good time with that week playing it, and just wanted to share my thoughts about it in general. Before we get started, make sure to give the video a like, cause you gotta. So, past week I've been playing this. Pretty much just took over everything. I put everything else on hold. Basically, I was working on some videos for The Last of Us 2, streaming the Survivor difficulty playthrough on that as well, and I just pretty much put everything on hold just so I can get my fix of Red Dead Online. I'm a big fan of this game. The online, I've dumped in a lot of time into it, leveling up all the roles that are available. And yeah, we were left with a long time without any news, without any updates, without anything to look forward to, really. I myself thought that the game was dead completely. I did not think that Rockstar would actually make any more updates for the game, and would instead solely focus their attention on Grand Theft Auto 5, and assuming that they're working on Grand Theft Auto 6 as well. Needless to say, when the news of the update was released, I was very excited, very happy. I was very glad that I was proven wrong, essentially, and that we were getting all this great content to take advantage of and have a reason to play, basically. I mean, that was the thing. There was just nothing to play for besides, just racking up money and gold to sit on it like a big fat oil tycoon businessman. But I mean, that gets old quick. So yeah, very exciting. I got the Outlaw Pass right away. Had to grind a bit to get enough gold to get the Naturalist role. I was not expecting it to be 25 gold bars, but instead 15, which was what the other roles were costing back when they came out. But it wasn't too bad considering I had treasure maps saved up, so I just did all the treasure maps that I had saved up. I didn't even do all of them. I just did like a fraction of them, actually. I have a lot of treasure maps there just waiting. But yeah, I just did the treasure maps, got the gold, got the Naturalist, and went to work. So right off the bat, I will say the first impressions was a bit confusing, I guess is the best word. If you don't know what to do, it can be a little it can be a little intimidating, or not intimidating, underwhelming, I guess. Yeah, if you don't really know what you're doing for those first 5 levels. The reason being is, well, I mean, as far as my personal experience, and I imagine many other people's, sort of the first thing that you want to tackle right off the bat is the legendary animals, right? I mean, those are the ones that are being promoted. They make them look all cool in the trailer for the update, and so you want to find some legendary animals. Wrong. Don't do that. Yeah, no, you're really not going to want to, as far as those first 5 levels, it's hard to find legendary animals, right? They're not just going to pop out of nowhere. Some of them even have specific spawning conditions as far as the weather and the time of day. So if you don't know how to go about it, you're mainly going to be wasting your time, which is what I did. I went out for the legendaries first and was just confused as to why they were not coming out, and basically just wasted a whole bunch of time doing that. Instead, what you want to do is you want to get the easy animals, the non-legendary animals, and focus more so on completing the sets. So basically, what it comes down to, this update is the collector role but with animals. But I will say it's a little bit better in the sense that it's more active, right? The collector role is very passive. I mean, you're just going to place, especially with the maps and the guides that you have available to you on the internet, easily accessible. That you're pretty much just putting waypoints on your map and putting it on auto drive. With this, it's very similar to the collector role in the sense that you're looking for different things, right? With the collector's role, it's the arrowheads, the cards, the wildflowers, and here it's the animals, right? So you're going around, you're getting samples for the animals, and just like the collector role, you have the different animals separated into different categories. So the main idea being is that you want to get all samples from all the animals in a particular category, and that'll give you a nice experience bonus as well as a little cash bonus as well. So you're getting money for each individual sample that you sell to Harriet, and at the same time, when you complete a collection, you'll get a cash bonus for completing the whole set as well. So this is mainly what you want to do for the first 5 levels in order to get accustomed to the Naturalist role as a whole. And I think that's I actually think it's a pretty smart way to go about it. The only thing being is that they shouldn't give you the legendary map at the very start, right? Because that's the thing that kind of like entices you to say, oh, all right, well, I mean, here they are, might as well go after them, right? When it's not really the first thing that you want to do, right? Coming out the gate. Once you get to level 5, that's when the Naturalist role really starts to shine, because once you get to rank 5, that's when the missions that Harriet has to offer become available, right? So she'll give you missions where you basically set up an encounter with a legendary animal, right? Basically a guaranteed legendary animal where you can either take the sample from it or kill it for its pelt. So, seeing as the whole allure of the Naturalist role is the legendary animals, that's really where the role starts to shine, right? When you're actually able to do these missions and interact with them and fight them and capture them and so on, right? And they're fun. I mean, they're, good missions. Some of them, there's variations on the missions as well. You're not, I did a couple of them twice and they were not the same the second time around, which is cool. So yeah, basically once you get to level 5, it's a blast. You're doing the missions to get the legendary animals. You can continue completing the sets. As far as my experience, you're going to be leveling up pretty quick. I didn't even play the whole week, actually. I pretty much took the weekend off and pretty much just played the first game Tuesday to Friday, right? So those 4 days. And then last night, so let's say like 5 nights, right? Stayed up till late. Probably paid like a couple 10 to let's say 4, 5, 3. Yeah, I'd say like 4 to 5 hours each night, right? For 5 nights. And after doing so, I pretty much got the Naturalist role all near complete. I'm at level 16, 17. You may think that it's actually a little too short, but you can rest assured that Rockstar had planned for that. And with today being exactly a week after the update came out, they released new legendary animals into the map, specifically the 2 legendary alligators. Taking a look in the animal guide, those took the spots of, if you go into the section for the legendary animals, they're filled with question marks, right? So this was actually my theory before anything got announced today, but my theory was basically that Rockstar would be releasing new legendary animals on a weekly basis, similar in the vein how they did with the legendary bounties when the bounty hunter role was released, with each week a new legendary bounty being available. So it seems from what they released today, I would imagine they're going to be releasing 2 new legendary animals on a weekly basis. Counting all the question marks in the guide, that would account for 8 more weeks of updates for the legendary animals, which would coincide perfectly with the end of this Outlaw Pass in mid-October. And probably the most exciting news is that there's already been proof shown that they are going to immediately follow up with another Outlaw Pass, which is going to be Halloween themed from mid-October on, which is probably what I'm most excited about, right? So this is good. I see the Naturalist role. It's fun. It's great. But I see it more as a start, right? I really would like for Rockstar to keep updating the game consistently, and it seems that they have plans to do that, which is very exciting. So, as far as what the benefit of doing the Naturalist role is, mainly as far as leveling up the Naturalist role, it's mainly going to be providing you with boost in regards to hunting legendary animals. So really, I mean, realistically, as I mentioned at the start, finding legendary animals, you have the missions, right, where you're guaranteed an encounter with the legendary animal from Harriet. But as far as hunting legendary animals in free roam in the map, that can be a little bit tough, right? But with the advancing the rank of your Naturalist role, it essentially becomes easier and easier as you get more skills that increase your chances of encountering the legendary animals. So the Naturalist role isn't really going to provide you with any advantage in any other aspect of the game. And I will say that the Naturalist role is probably not the best in regards to making money, right? It's not probably going to be your go-to option for that, unless maybe once all the legendary animals are released, maybe there will be a certain collection that may be significantly easier to acquire as opposed to some of the other ones. But we won't find out. We won't find out about that until October. So we'll just have to wait to see. The reason I say is because the money bonus, if you recall, I mentioned you get a bonus for completing a whole collection. And the bonuses for the legendary animal collections are quite significant. So we'll just have to wait to see if we can take advantage of that. But for the time being, this is not going to be your main source of money making. It's mainly for the fun of it, I would say, and for exploration, right? So the main appeal to this role is that you're going to be traveling all over the map in order to find all these different animals. If you're not aware, you won't find every animal, and the animals have their specific habitats and locations where they usually reside in. So you're going to want to be going to those exact locations in order to acquire them. And it can be very fun in the sense that it'll be taking you to places that you may not normally explore. This was kind of the appeal with the collector role as well, in that it did kind of take you all over the place as far as where the collectibles were hidden. Even so, that I believe that the Naturalist role expands on that and improves on it, right? So I think we can even go as far as to say that the Naturalist is pretty much a collector 2.0, right? And the reason I say that is because as far as my knowledge goes, there aren't any collectibles hidden up in the snowy mountain areas up by Spider Gorge and up there, right, where you first start the campaign, the story mode. There's nothing up there, so there's never really the only the most north that you'll go for collectibles is in the Grizzlies, right, the mountain range. with the Naturalist role, you'll definitely have reasons to go up there, all the way up there to the top of the map, the areas that you would normally never go. And on top of that, it's a much more active experience of exploring the map as well. As I mentioned at the start with the collector role, you're pretty much just setting the waypoints, and you can put yourself to travel on autopilot. You can put the controller down and just look at your phone or do something else until you get to that point, grab the collectible, and you're on to the next one. Whereas here, it's a lot more active, it's a lot more interactive. You're actually actively having to look around in order to find the animals, and then shoot them down, chase them down, to shoot them down with the tranks to get them to sleep. So yes, I'd say it's a lot more fun in terms of actually exploring the map and the nooks and crannies and everything that this game has to offer, because that's probably one of the largest appeals of this game. The map itself, the area where you're just going around and finding cool stuff. And at the same time, while you're going around exploring, you are provided, at the very least, some kind of compensation with the money that you make by selling the samples, and then the bonus that you get for completing the collections as well. So at least it's something. It's not the most, but I mean, it's better than nothing. On top of the money that you make, probably one of the main attractions of the role itself is the exclusive clothing items that you can acquire by collecting the pelts of the different animals that you're encountering. So you're going to want to, so you can't actually skin the same animal that you get a sample from, but for the most part, when you encounter an animal, they're usually in a herd of 2 or 3 or more, right? So the idea being is that you can shoot one down to get a sample, or maybe you can shoot more than one to get samples for additional samples for future occasions. And at the same time, if you happen to find a perfect animal of the perfect condition animal of the one that you're looking for, you'll be tempted to take it down to get its pelt in a perfect condition, or in some cases even the carcass, so that you can take it to our good boy Gus to make us a nice coat, gloves, bandolier. He does it all, really. And yeah, this is really cool also because it's a bunch of exclusive items that you can only get through him by providing the animals. It kind of just doubles up on the whole purpose of finding the animals, right? Because on the one side, you'll want to find the animals to get samples to complete the collections for Harriet. And then on the other end, you're going to want to find the animals in perfect conditions to get their pelts or carcasses to give to Gus, so that you can get everything that he has to offer as well. And he has some pretty sick stuff, so you're definitely going to want to be doing that. So overall, playing this past week, I've had a great time. I've seen a lot of different areas that I actually hadn't seen before, which is always a pleasure. And it's been overall an enjoyable experience, I gotta say. I'm happy with the update, and more than anything, I'm just very excited for what's to come in the future, right? It probably won't take much longer for me to update to get the Naturalist role to the max, but I feel like once it gets to that point, I can really start to dip my toes into hunting the legendary animals. Granted, I won't be able to complete the collections for them until all of them are released, which won't be until October. But the good news there is that I'll have a reason to come back to the game, at least on a weekly basis, to hunt those new legendary animals that they'll be releasing. So, plus, I still got another 30 or so levels to go with the Outlaw Pass, so I'm definitely going to keep playing for the foreseeable future. And yeah, I'm just really happy with the update overall. As far as a tip for anyone looking who's made it this far into the video and is looking to take off into the naturalist role, my suggestion would be to go for the mountain and grasslands collection. That is pretty much, you're going to find the majority of the animals there between the heartlands and the sort of Cumberland Forest, Grizzlies area above it. You're pretty much going to find, I'd say, a good 90% of the animals. And there are common animals that spawn regularly. You won't have to do you won't be spending a whole lot of time doing searching for specific animals. The toughest animal to get in that collection is the timber wolf. You'll have a whole bunch of gray wolves. Gray wolves are probably the ones that most commonly you get attacked by when you're just strolling on the road. But yeah, timber wolves are going to be a little bit tougher. So I would recommend that when you do finally encounter them, that you get the good thing about them is that they come in packs, right? So you'll usually be attacked by or encounter 2 or 3 timber wolves together. And my suggestion would be to get samples of each one of them, so you don't have to go out of your way to look for just a single sample just to complete another collection. So I tried some of the other ones. I tried the desert one. The desert one is actually very easy as well, and probably takes less time. But the bad thing about it is that you're getting paid significantly less for the completion bonus of the collection. So I would say, in terms of your time investment to the value of money that you're getting back for your time, as far as that ratio is concerned, I would say I would stick with the mountain and grassland collection. The one above that, the one that gives you more money, and I believe it's just $20 more, I believe it's river and forest collection, that has some pretty tough animals, specifically the mooses, right? Well, you got bears also, which can be a handful, especially the grizzly. But you'll find that you'll get attacked by bears, a good amount of time. So the bears won't even be that big of an issue. But the moose, man, the moose is a killer. And I was able to complete the collection one time, but I really can't see myself go through that again. Yeah, that moose is a killer. And it was a grace of God that I was able to find it, I feel. So yeah, mountain grasslands, that's where you want to go with as far as leveling up. And yeah, just complete the collections and you'll fly up the levels, really, up until you get to the point where you're like level 15. Then you have, I believe, that'll give you basically all the boosts that you can get for finding legendary animals. I haven't gotten to level 20. I imagine you'll get something there too, but yeah, I imagine once you get to that point, you can, start dipping your toes with actually going and hunting specifically for the legendary animals. Although you do want to take into consideration that they do spawn very, very rarely, and as I mentioned before, sometimes with having to meet specific conditions. So yeah, you may want to look that up online, if anything. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about this the Naturalist role. Like the video, make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions, subscribe for more gaming videos, and I'll see you guys next time.